Okay, boys, girls, ladies, gentlemen, and action figures, let's get along with the second part of Colors of the Wind. I'm sorry it's taken me 3 years to get around to doing part 2, but here it is. You already know the first part, and let's just go through what you already know. Now you'll notice that first stanza ends in a minor chord, in an A minor. The second stanza, you're going to play it exactly the same, except it ends with a major chord. It ends with C. So we're not going to waste time learning to play the whole second stanza because it's just like the first. But the very last line of that second stanza that goes, "You'll learn things you never knew you never knew." We're going to go about that like this. You'll learn things you never knew, you never knew. Things you never knew, you never knew. Just like the first time through, except it ends with C instead of A minor. Now when we get to have you ever heard the wolf cry to the blue corn moon? That's when we're going to have to use some finger formations that aren't common, at least among typical guitar players. And I'm going to refer to them as standard chords barred to a certain fret. For example, a D minor barred up to the 7th fret. The D minor is actually made on the 8th fret and the bar on the 7th. Technically that's an A minor, and I only know that because I just looked it up. A minor, but we don't think A minor when we make this form. We think D minor. So we're going to bar D minor to the 7th fret. We're going to use that quite often. And we're going to bar A minor to the 7th fret quite often, and technically that's a D minor. So technically when we do this, we're going from A minor to D minor. But let's not talk like that. Barred, D minor barred, A minor barred. And then we're going to have to go to one that was very difficult for me to learn back a few years ago. A C, a standard C, made with these 3 fingers instead of these 3. We're going to make a C with these 3 fingers, and we're going to bar it up to the 5th fret. And technically that's an F. But I'm going to call it C barred to 5, and that's what we got to dance around quite a bit on when we play the chorus. But it begins in routine C. Have you ever heard the wolf cry? The have you is just a strum on C beginning on the 5th string all the way to the high E, because the high E is your melody. So you got to strum the whole chord all the way up to the 1st string. Have you. Now you is just going to be a backstroke of the high E with your pinky down on the 3rd fret of the high E. Have you ever. Okay, for ever we got to make a big long quick jump. Have you ever. That's going to be your D minor barred to the 7th fret. You put your bar on the 7th and make a D minor. Now here's how I go about that. Once I get my fingers in position, I stroke strings 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ever, and pull the finger off for ever. Now here's the cool thing about this. You only have to stroke the chord one time and just let that ring for the next 4 or 5 notes as you dance around with your other fingers. Have you ever? And it kind of helps give the ver syllable a boost if you kind of pluck it with your middle finger as you pull it off that 1st string. Have you ever? Now I'm going to pluck The fifth string is a bass. Heard the, oops, no. Heard the, have you ever heard the. Now what I'm doing there is I'm hitting the fifth string with my thumb, and then the second and third strings in this position. Remember, I'm still in the D minor, barred up to 7. So you just leave these two fingers in place in that chord. Heard the. You hit one stroke with the pinky here, then you pull it up and place the middle finger on the second string. Ever heard the. And then wolf cry is the same. Wolf cry, ever heard the wolf cry? To the, now that's easy. Ever heard the wolf cry? To the, we're just going to take the ring finger, which is on the third string, remember barred to 7. Ever heard the wolf cry? To the, and pull it off. To the. You can hit it twice if you want, but you really don't even have to. Ever heard the wolf cry? To the blue corn moon. Now we're going to change our chord from the D minor to the A minor barred on the 7th fret. Blue corn moon. What the heck? Blue. Now I'll play it like this. Blue corn moon. But we're going to go back to that A minor barred to 7, and we're going to pluck the 3rd, 4th, and 5th string with these 3 fingers. We're just going to pull and grab and pull. Blue, and then just kind of as a, just for fun, just because I think it sounds good, blue, we're going to hit the 4th string again. Blue, corn is going to be grab and pull on strings 2, 3, and 4. Same chord formation. Blue corn moon. Now moon is that funky F, the C barred up to the 5th fret. Moon, and you gotta hit that high E, because that's what we're really shooting for. That's the melody note. Moon, and the rest is just the bass. Blue corn moon, and I do it by grabbing and pulling with these 3 fingers, the first 3 strings, and hitting the 5th string with the thumb. Moon. Now if that chord is just kind of not in your fingers' vocabulary, what you can do is make a D and move it up to the 5th fret and just hit those 3 strings. Moon, but you lose your bass. You could go blue corn moon, but I like to keep the bass in and get the whole chord. Now here's where we're at. Have you ever heard the wolf, no, ever heard the wolf cry to the blue corn moon? And or ask the grinning bobcat why he grins. Or, you're still right here. Or, asked the grinning bobcat why he grins. It looks a whole lot like the first part, doesn't it? Or, ask the grinning bobcat why he grins. And I think you can follow my fingers there. I'll do it up close so you can see them both. Or ask the grinning bobcat why he grins. You can, what can they do now? See, yeah. You can sing with all, sing not the rainbow. Rainbows don't sing, mountains do. You can. Okay, now exactly what did he do there? Sing with all the colors of the voices. Sing with all the voices of the mountain. Yeah, we're on that C, barred up to the 5th fret. We're going to hit the whole thing. Sing. And we're going to let the whole chord ring as your other fingers dance. Sing with. And on with, I'm plucking 2nd and 3rd strings. Except I've moved my pinky from right here to the 2nd string. Sing with all. Sing with all. Go to an A minor there somewhere. Sing with all the. Sing with all the colors. Sing with all the colors of the. Going back to the 1st string there. Sing with all the colors of the. Voices of the mountain. We're going to C. Mountain with the pinky down on the high E on the 3rd fret. Mountain. Then you pull it off for a ton. Mountain. Then a little bass march down to A minor. Mountain. Okay, now we're going back to our F. Make sure to get that thumb on the 1st fret of the low E for a good solid bass. You grab and pull right there with your thumb, and then the 3-finger grab and pull on strings 2, 3, and 4 on F. Can you, I'm wrong. Can you, I'm so tongue-tied, I don't know how to tell you how to do that. Just watch. Okay. Now we'll call it quits right there for part 2, but I'm going to come back with part 3 today. This video's getting a little bit long now. I hope that was helpful.